we start connecting. Okay. Okay, it says we're running. We now need to do something very important, which is, I guess, alert the masses, which is very important. They actually don't know this is they're going to be very excited.
Surprise.
Apparently people get very excited when I do streams. They're all like, "Oh, hey, they're wondering you're doing a stream.
Tag me in a tweet. They're
Yeah,
sweet. Fuck.
Okay,
Damn
how
it.
do I...
I've already had too much alcohol and I've only had one glass.
No, it's fine. That's why we have an owl here. You brought your great owl. The great Nebel is here, and he's going to help us through this all. Okay, I'll just go to my YouTube.
What a horrifying owl. What's he gonna do?
What a horrifying predicament where you require my help.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're a good person, Nebel. Don't say that. I love you.
Boop 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 boop.
Why do I feel like this is
Nebel, don't say that.
This is a recipe
Somebody
for tormenting Nerd Wonder. Me and Nebel just being dicks.
I've done worse.
I do not done. Or we lie.
People, people are already running to it.
Damn it.
No, it's fine. They love people. Alright, but people that join me on
stuff. You could have warned us.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I did, but then again, I'm ADHD, so I may have forgot to say that.
I think you said it, but I was under the impression that like it was prepping to go live without actually being live.
Oh, okay. You got the link for it then?
Yeah. Hang on. Let me send you the link. Hold on. I swear I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it. There you go. This is the link. And when they come on in, at first they see the regular link and they're like, "Oh, what's this? This is ew. It made a weird bar. I'm mad now at the image. I'll have to edit that later. But anyway, yeah, so you don't see the owl, and then they come in, and then they're like, "Oh, there's an owl here too." So it's a surprise. Oh, I should tell Mines about this. Mines would probably like to know too.
Hang on a second. Looking for community promote. Oh, did you already get it?
I'm not
okay,
like
James,
fully.
Okay, James already got it. Okay.
Yay!
I was talking about like posting the link in the Mythoverse chat, but he's already got that covered.
Yay! I forget I'm in there.
Be faster, Nebel.
Okay, we're gonna just post it really quickly. Damn, I'm so mad that I messed, like, this stupid link looks stupid. Then again, it could be something else. Which is not optimal. Your resolution sucks. Shut up! I did my best. Yeah. Okay, we can either wait for some extra people to come on in, or we can just start. It is whatever you guys want to do.
I'm okay with waiting a few minutes.
Okay.
Especially, I just looked at the chat and I have questions. How are you doing your escaped cat girl experiment?
Oh, yeah. So,
what?
I am a cat girl. This is known.
Somehow I doubt this.
I am a cat girl. I am a cat and a girl. And
I mean, we've had her hit her with a spray bottle enough times, I believe it.
So, I am half cat, half girl, cat girl, magic superhero, turns into a cat, also fights crime, just as very cuddly and lovely. That is my thing. And Nebel here, he likes card games and spreading darkness.
Well, I don't know about that.
I can confirm he enjoys spreading the darkness.
Look at him. He's an
Have
Eldritch
you
horror.
read Maze of Dolls?
That
Yeah.
is, I
This
didn't.
man's mind is fucked.
I didn't want to say anything because it's super biased. I'm gonna be super biased, but that was my favorite. That was my favorite. It was really good. But...
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. You know.
We went. Nice. I'm sorry. I mean,
I'm on Twitter. Purity Sin posts, everyone go watch Nerd Wonder or I won't let her draw giant tatas for you anymore. So, there you go.
Yeah, I work for, at times, I work for, her Chaotic Comics. I'm helping develop one of their new characters. It's gonna be really cool. So, I'm just everywhere. Oh, look! Drew wants to ask you a question, Magic Owl Nebel.
Okay. Hey, Drew, what's up?
He wants
What is he asking?
He asks, when are you going to make a sequel to The Maze of Dolls?
Oh, You know, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because Maze of Doll. You know, I guess this is as good a time to mention this as any. Maze of Dolls is actually going to function as a setup for a later Mythoverse series.
Yes.
Though not in a very direct way.
Yes.
You're gonna the connection will become more clear later on.
Yes. Yay. So good. Okay.
I'm still working on the script right now because I'm in the middle of working on another project at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Nebel produces good content.
There's so many. He's so
Now-
cool. He was here
Now
just
it's,
to rule. I do not own a
Now it's just a matter of
Like
getting
Lucas.
one of those things done.
That's like
yes, the
me
hardest
with
part.
everything. That's why I get somebody.
Finishing what you start.
I get somebody to take a stick and hit me. It helps, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but
Be careful of brain damage.
this explains
Draining
so
the
much.
damage.
All right. Well, I guess we've got more people watching now. It might be a
Yeah.
good time
Okay.
to
Great. All right.
start with the questions.
Aye, aye. So, everybody here, I think you all know me. I'm Nerd Wonder. But I bet you don't know James Stern. And I bet some of you don't know the miraculous Nebel. Unless you saw that kick-ass episode with Nebel. But anyway, these two work at the Mythoverse, which is an awesome comic book company. And, well, I guess we should start with asking James, what do you do at the company? Wow, I sounded super robotic. I'm sorry.
Hey, yeah, that's my job. I'm the robot.
Illegal?
Oh, there's a couple things I do there. I am the creator of Hollowed Harvest. I came up with the idea, and I am the one who got everyone organized and on track to produce the collection of weird and spoopy tales
Sweet.
that are collected in the pages.
Is it safe to call you the King of the Harvest?
If you want, I guess.
King of the Harvest! Huzzah!
Very well.
Yay!
Sure.
Yeah.
You're
The
king.
cover is just a portrait of James.
Yes, I am just.
Yes, I should have known. It's so magical.
Yes, I am a discount Grim Reaper.
Oh. So
Yes,
magical.
my physical form came into existence when Nebel drew me.
Yes, that's how that works now.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, you can thank Nebel. Nebel created even more evil when he drew me.
Oh my goodness, Nebel, you need to stop doing that. You're already.
Was that I was already creating another evil.
You make so much evil. You're
back
such
on
a
track.
owl. Yeah, back on track.
So yeah, there's that. I have another project I'm working on for the Mythoverse. Not going to share too much about it, other than the main character of that is the likeness on the screen. If you are watching the inanimate video.
Yes. I'm waiting him to
And
say
then there's some other things I'm working on behind the scenes, but I cannot really share that at this point. So, but, there's a couple things I do.
Well, that's good. So you were the one that led the Hollow Harvest, got everything together and so forth. But so did you come up with the idea? I mean, you said you came up with the idea, correct?
Yes, whiskey plus being up at 4 a.m. plus watching 2 horror movies equals Hollowed Harvest, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, that works, I guess. But
yeah, because I had just finished watching like Halloween 2 and Hellraiser.
I would have thought Trick or Treat would have been in there because it's a bunch of small stories.
I think I had seen Trick or Treat before, but I hadn't watched it that night.
Okay. Okay. I don't really like it, but I know it's like a whole entire anthology thing. And people really like it because it is an anthology, which is really cool. But, so, next question on my list is, hey, is there something in my room? Sorry, if there's a dog in my room, I'm gonna be pissed.
Woof. Woof.
We must purge the distractions after last time, right,
Be
Nebel?
gone.
Should be good.
Be gone, doggo.
Be gone, doggo.
The dog sometimes likes to hide in my room. Yeah, so, okay. So, my next question is, when you came up with this idea, since you said it was late at night, a lot of booze, a lot of horror movies, how did you pitch it to the Mythoverse?
Hey guys, you want to do some Halloween short stories for October?
Sure.
That's basically exactly how it happens. I posted in the Mythoverse Discord server. That's like, hey, let's do some short stories and like release them on the Patreon each weekend in October. And Neb was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And that's pretty much how it started.
Okay, so it was starting as like a Patreon event, and then you guys decided to make it into a full-blown comic?
Yeah. When we got like 6 or 7 people wanting to make stories, it's like, well, there's not that many weekends. Let's just do an anthology comic.
Ooh, very nice. I like that. So, like, were you also the one that, like, headed and led the Kickstarter and the Indiegogo, or was that the whoever, like, ran the other Mythoverse comic?
I was... the Mythoverse and Patreon was kind of split between me and then the editor-in-chief at the Mythoverse, Dan Sakharov. Mm-hmm. I was like, he got the page set up and everything, did all the formatting, handled fulfillment, but then like I was handling updates and monitoring progress, and then I handled like sending out all the digital stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool. So I was wondering if you had any like full-fledged experience on Kickstarter, but it looks like you instead had some good friends to help. Well, I mean,
yes.
Part of Mythoverse, so yeah.
If Dan had not been helping, Hollowed Harvest would not have happened.
Okay. Well, that's really
cool. That
cool.
man is a saint.
And also probably has a lot of experience, because Mythoverse has released, let's see here, I'm pulling out the stuff. I got the super pack from Hollowed Harvest. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys have currently released 5 comics, but then you're going to release, I know, issue 2 of most of these series.
Yeah, so
Mythics issue 2 is already out. The campaign for Adobe Kroger #2 is going on.
It's yes.
Damn,
donate.
Yes.
Heck yeah!
Help
Throw
us succeed
money.
because Dan tells excellent stories.
Yeah.
And the art for Adobe Kroger,
Oh, yeah.
Leandro Panganaban is just.
I will say this.
Who needs color when you have beautiful ink?
No, seriously. Yeah, I don't think you really. At times, I think people rely too much on coloring, and I don't like how current era does coloring. So, I like the whole entire thing of Adobe Kroger being in black and white. I love it, and it is absolutely beautiful. Like, that is some of the best art I've seen. And then we have some of the greatest writing in Changeling and Mythics. I love Changeling. Big fan of that series. It is very manga-esque and very cutesy at times with a lot of violence. A lot of violence. But then again, Mythoverse is filled with tons of violence. And then of course we got this cool investigation series within Mythics, and I really like them all. I love all three of them. And I'm looking forward to each one. I mean, of sequels, I got issue 1. I have issue 1 twice. I got the variant edition from the first time you guys did the Kickstarter. And then I did the super edition for Hollow Harvest. Because I wanted the other covers. Also, I wanted the really cool poster. Yeah.
Yes, there were some very nice posters. Very, very nice posters indeed.
Well, that's wonderful.
Oh, yes.
It sounds like you guys are, you know, when you sometimes hear from other people that are like setting up to do an anthology series or like trying to gather people, it usually takes a really long time and you have to heavily pitch to random people just to get this off the ground. But you're part of a community that seems to really care and are really friendly. And they saw a lot of genuine heart and interest in your idea. And you don't see that often. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a very enthusiastic community. In what you mentioned, like sometimes it takes people a long time just to like pitch and get the idea out there. This project, from conception to digital release, 3 months.
3 months.
It was a stressful 3 months, but I don't know. Maybe I don't have a great perspective because I've only done the one project, but it felt like it was very, very quick. Like it was just like, hey, I have an idea. 3 months later, oh, hey, it's out.
Yeah, well,
cool.
No, honestly, that is really dang fast. A lot of people, they usually spend a whole year or longer on their work. Like, I'm trying to think of something. Timothy Lim, I think, like, Common America took, they actually prepared way ahead in advance. I want to say, like 10 months before. And when they were kickstarting Volume 1, they already wrote a script for Volume 2. And when they were done with finishing coloring and drawing Volume 2 and setting up the Kickstarter, they were already writing Volume 3. And they released these but it's like a ton of time just is taken into writing and creating stuff for so many people. And one man with a dream does that.
Well, it helps that it was a lot of the work was decentralized. We had 6 stories make the final cut. Nice. And so instead of having one story where you kind of have one page being worked on at a time, you could have 6 stories, each with one page being worked at a time. So theoretically, like, kind of cut the time down by a sixth. And then the fact that each of the, I don't think any of the stories passed 20 pages. So each story was shorter on average, and there were more people working at a time. So that helped cut down the production time.
Well, at times, yes, and at times, no. It really depends on the teams that you have. Some people work slower and faster than others. So, in reality, it's a lot to do with your hard work and determination as well. Don't sell yourself short, sir.
Up to my own device,
but I also don't want to take all the credit when there's a whole ass team that I worked with that produced stuff.
Well, yeah.
Like, I can't take all the credit. I just had the idea and organized things. Everyone else put in the work to do the art and stories.
Well, yeah, but it's really cool that your idea came out into a reality. Not many people can say that. And, you know, it also does go to show like how quick the Mythoverse works. Like 3 months you had a thing done. Does that also count for printed and released or
Okay, print took a lot longer to ship, and that is because the printer we were using got kind of backlogged with some other stuff from other successful crowd funds, and
No,
so
that's
we were
understandable.
kind of low on the list. So everyone should have their stuff by now. That all shipped, I
Oh
think, at
yeah.
the start of January or like mid-January.
Yep.
So everyone should have their stuff. Everyone should have their
I got mine.
nice floppies.
I'm gonna get a thing, like a frame for my posters, because I spent extra for the pretty posters. And I'm going to put the pretty posters on my wall and be like, look at the pretty posters. I just gotta go to the store and get poster frames. But yeah, like, honestly, you guys always release some really amazing products. Like, Mythoverse, it just seems to be a thing that just spews creativity. It is a nice hub. Like, honestly, I don't know anybody that can say anything wrong about them. And yes, who cares if your thing was a little bit delayed? Honestly, do you know how many successful crowdfunders take years to even release stuff? And like even some good stuff and like stuff that we love, it takes a year or longer to be released to the public because of like how much work and effort's going to be in. And then yeah, we have people that just, you know, like comic book crowdfunders and game crowdfunders that kind of run away with the cash.
Well, I wanted to make sure everything got released and printed. So, I mean, that's why for everyone who backed the campaign, they got a little bonus voucher for the Mythomerch store just because of the delay in the print.
Yeah, no, honestly,
But
James.
we did release the digital before Halloween, so that was like kind of on time.
Yeah, but James, I don't think you get it. I'm trying to explain that you guys are a genuine, considerate group of people. Like not many people do that. Like, not many people are like, oh, I'm really sorry about the delay. Here, have a coupon for our store. And we released the digital early because of this. I'm really sorry. Like, not many people do that. People just, like, release this stuff, delay it, and then just release it and go, whatever. Pfft. But no, not you guys. You guys have genuine heart and care. Like, that's what the Mythoverse is built upon. And that is a lot.
Oh.
That is a lot to say. There's not many companies that do that. And I know a lot of companies.
Well, it is our goal at the Mythoverse, first and foremost, to provide quality comics. We want to make sure that what we make is good and enjoyable for people. But we also recognize that making sure that we don't screw over the people who allow us to create. Like, you don't want to screw over the people you create because that means they're not going to help you out later when you're trying to make more stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, oh, hey, Marsupial Gamer has come in. Oh, some people don't know what we're talking about because it came in late. Marsupial Gamer, we are talking about the Mythoverse and their release of the Hollow Harvest. And we're talking about their policies and their beliefs in how they produce a good comic.
Yeah, and Brett brought up a good point. So Brett McGowan, one of the main creators at the Mythoverse, he said we ship out digital copies to all backers just in case things get held up in printing, and it's just a general policy we have. So as soon as the digitals are available and the funds clear for crowdfunding, we ship out the digitals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was it was a fun experience trying to make this stuff. But right, Hollowed Harvest for people who have recently joined. So it was the first anthology from Mythoverse Comics, if you exclude the non-canon Mytho Chibis. It's the first canon anthology. That's probably the best way to say it. So it's a collection of stories meant to celebrate the spirit of Halloween, kind of within the context of the Mythoverse. So all the stories happen within the Mythoverse, and each of them celebrates some aspect of Halloween, whether it's like the horror aesthetic, whether it's the mythology surrounding Halloween or Samhain, whatever element. It was just kind of meant to be a celebration of the holiday, and then frame it within the context of the Mythoverse. But jumping back to the policies and principles, that was actually the mission statement for Volume 1. This may not be exactly it. It might be a slight modification, but first, to create quality stories that celebrate the Halloween season within the context of the Mythoverse, and then second, to promote the up-and-coming creators from the Mythoverse. So that was another element of Hollowed Harvest, is it allowed people who were not Brett, Matt, and Dan to get their stories out there. And even if they're not full-length comics, it's still a chance to show their creative chops and get some recognition. Because we got the main 3 comics, which are relatively known within the little creative sphere of the Mythoverse, but I thought it would be good for other people to get a chance to be like, okay, here's the Mythoverse brand, let's slap it on something, and let's get some more people working on it so that they can get their name out there.
Yeah, this was Nebel. This was your grand premiere.
Well, this is
royal appearance.
This is it's my first Mythoverse comic for sure. It is not my first published comic. I've been on the 2020 Draw and Talk anthology before, but that was a 2-page comic.
Okay,
and that was an interesting experience. But this would be my, I guess this is the closer to making a full-length comic and being published in that capacity. So that's also the first one that I've been paid for.
Ooh, that's awesome. So Hollowed Harvest is your Mythoverse debut.
It is. It most certainly is.
It is the Mythoverse debut of several creators.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true.
Both art and writing.
Yep.
I think
Porta-Call, was that Forrester's first book?
With the Mythoverse, I think he.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually ever released Dogs and Sailors. I should know this because he's the artist for my project, but I don't know it because I'm a horrible person.
Womp.
I feel like
womp womp.
From what I saw with his, it looked like he had a lot of experience, so I would have thought he would have.
Oh, he is a phenomenal artist. Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
I mean, like his writing and everything. It's just there's a lot of experience you can see from his stuff in there. Like even the fun twist at the end.
Yeah. Poof.
Yeah.
Oh, seeing even real. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So Hollowed Harvest, yeah, it was an interesting production cycle. There were many days I spent freaking out because like, well, I got nothing more to do. It's organized, deadlines are set. Now I just wait for stuff to be submitted. That's honestly probably the most stressful part of organizing the project, was not the actual organization. It was just waiting.
Hurry up and wait, as they say.
Yeah, it was hurry up and wait.
Play the waiting game.
The waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Yeah! I love that game.
Classic Simpsons line.
But yeah, it's actually it's a really good book. I'm gonna honestly say it. It's a nice big fat one too. For the price you get as well. It's like BAM! Which is always a very nice
60 some pages, I want to say.
Yeah.
PDF is 68 pages in scrap. So it's like upper 50s in terms of actual content.
I love
about a little north of 3 full-length comics.
it. Yeah. It's really nice. Like, everything about it, there's always these different stories, different art styles, and different ways to set up a Halloween mood.
Oh,
And of course,
And that was one of
it's with a
the
more
things that,
cutesy
like,
story.
yeah, that was one of the things I really liked about it is the story or the anthology really does capture a wide uh swath of what makes Halloween so fun for me. Because part of the reason I wanted to do the project in the first place is just like I love Halloween. I want to do something special for Halloween because otherwise I'm just gonna sit and drink and watch horror movies, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
no fun. I want to do something productive and celebratory. And so this was kind of the result of that, and it was nice to see like you had stories that just kind of took the tropes, I guess. So like vampires are kind of a Halloweeny thing. It's more generally horror, but horror gets bigger around Halloween.
Vampires are Halloweenish. They definitely are.
Yeah, and so the opening story, October 1987, very vampire-y. And then you have, but it's not like necessarily scary so much as it's more kind of like an action. I'd say it's like kind of an action comic. And then you go from there straight into Maze of Dolls, which is just body horror.
Yeah.
And then you have some other stuff, and then like you close off on My Story Halloween Traditions, which is just a really cutesy, wholesome story that's like, let's just all have fun and eat candy.
Which is super cute. And it is a perfect way to end the story. Like, and the anthology, I mean. I found that, like, the absolute perfect spot. Like, after seeing all these dark horror stories, like, some of them darker than others, Nebel. But we end with a very lighthearted, sweet note, which is very good. I think that's a really nice pacing.
Well, I think in his quick review of Hallowed Harvest, Cody from Ironverse Comics made a good point. He said it really tied together the kind of campfire story aesthetic of the anthology very well, because you have a lot of like warm colors and it's just wholesome and campy. And so that kind of segues really nicely into another thing I'd want to talk about, which is the general construction of Hallowed Harvest. So each of the stories completely independent from mine. They were all conceptualized and created by their respective creative teams. But once I had the stories, the way I organized them was very, very deliberate. So take Halloween 1987 or October 1987. I wanted to open with that story because it's not too extreme in any direction. It's not overly graphic. It's not overly spooky. It's just kind of in the middle. It's not necessarily child friendly, but it's not like
It's kind of got like a supernatural hunter sort of vibe.
Yeah. But I wanted to start with it because it's not super extreme in any one direction, and it's art by Dylan, who's done a lot of work for the Mythoverse prior to Hallowed Harvest, and so his work would be the most familiar. So that's how I wanted to open, with the stuff that would be super familiar to people who have been reading the Mythoverse, and have something kind of neutral to start with for those who hadn't investigated the Mythoverse, so that it'd be relatively enticing and at the minimum not a turn off. Then we go straight into Nebel's. I don't even know what to call it, because it's not a mind; it's just a black hole of death.
Then we hit them hard with a runaway freight train of horrors.
Yes.
Right when they're in.
Yeah, so we go into Maze of Dolls, which starts off cutesy and very quickly just goes to, oh, well, shit, that happened.
And I was like, oh.
So we lulled them in with October 1987. Then we hit with the real horror. Then we have kind of a more neutral story again with a light ending. And then at the midpoint, I put the tech story, Blackfire Covenant. And so that one is very unique from all the other stories, considering that it is a short story. It's not a comic book, it's like a written narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put that one in the middle because it's definitely on the darker side when compared to most of the other stories in the anthology.
Yep.
But it also kind of served. Everything after it is a bit more lighthearted in tone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was nice to have kind of that flip there. So it was, okay, we'll take a break from the visual stimulus, just go to kind of more intellectual stimulus and use that as a reset so we can get kind of more wholesome toward the end. Then we had Piper Chapter 0, which was kind of a surrealist, light exploration of Samhain lore. Nothing's really clear in that story, but I think that works to its advantage because it's very dreamlike.
Yeah, it's
the
kind of
art-
part of the point with it.
Yeah, it's just very ambiguous. And then, but overall, like the art is fairly tame. There's like one relatively spooky panel, but otherwise, it's all very nice colors, relatively inviting. And then you end with Halloween Traditions, which is just a very nice, wholesome experience, or at least that was my hope. I don't know if you can having read the book without any prior sneak peeks beyond what was discussed during the first stream. How do you think I did with the organization?
I think you did a great job. You went from let's see here, action-y to something more dark horror, like thriller horror, I guess. Macabre.
Macabre.
Macabre. Would macabre
The
be...
French are weird.
Maybe that's the right word for it?
No,
then,
it is pretty macabre, yeah.
Yeah, and then we go back to something more light, but kind of like a mystery kind of thing. Then we get a story, short story kind of thing with a bit darker, which is really nice. And then we get to once again kind of like a slightly chilly yet kind of adventurous, lighthearted story. And then we ended up with a nice, cutesy, friendly one, which I think definitely is needed for these things. I think you did a great job, and in the back as well, you have some of the artwork that was featured, or just some extra pieces that weren't in there.
Yes.
Such as
yeah. So the only picture in there that I don't think appeared as a panel or anything was the picture by Ginger Foxy of Maeve in the bat costume, mirroring the famous Scream painting.
Yeah, then there's the Life's Final Riddle, which was an alternative. It looks.
Oh yeah, the alternative cover.
Yeah.
The watercolor.
Yeah, the watercolor version. Yeah, yeah, I read this thing. I know, but yeah, it's an absolute beauty. I really enjoyed reading this, and mac and cheese. What are you guys talking about in the chat?
Oh.
I don't know. They're probably not even paying attention.
Well, they pay attention. They listen sometimes.
They like you. You gotta put up the happiness, and they will come. 'Cause that's why they're here. See, Ryan's here. Hi, Ryan. Okay, it is true. It is true. I haven't done a live stream or a video in a long time, and I've been neglecting it, and I'm really sorry. I was having a bad time after Cat Wonder's passing, but yeah, I'm back. I think. I'm back, right?
Oh, you think, huh?
I'm back.
I mean, you seem to be. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yay!
watching the live stream, so seems to be active.
No, yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're here to learn
There's,
about the Mythoverse.
well, something about it anyway.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. Honestly, you gotta pat yourselves on the back a bit more, James.
Ha. My
James,
personality doesn't allow that.
James, appreciate yourself a little bit more. I
Womp,
don't care, but James. You did a
Womp
good
womp.
job.
I agree with Nebel. Womp womp.
Womp
This
womp.
is-
I'm here to
And-
talk about the story, not me.
Okay, fine. But the Hall Harvest is somewhat of not only your publishing debut, I guess in a way, it's also your creative debut, because that is your story
True.
is in there. Your
Yeah.
ending story is yours.
Yeah, that is the first time I've published anything creative. Yeah, Hollow Harvest is like the first thing I've actually produced that wasn't for school.
Hey,
Like
I
everything
know.
else I've ever done was either video games or school related things.
Wait. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. You made video games?
I play video games.
Damn it. Okay.
I tried messing with C++. I'm not smart enough to make video games. That's hard.
I was practicing Python, and then my brother-in-law it found out, and then he kept saying try C++, and I have to
C++
start trying.
is faster, and it's a better language in terms of what you can do with it, but it is very, very tricky.
I have many questions, but right now is not the time, but I definitely will ask you more questions. Just not
Okay.
now, because I do not want to derail this conversation like I usually do. Is there anything else do you think we should ask? Because we asked all sorts of different stuff about the amazing artists that you picked. It seems that, you want to know what? It seems that you had other entries. You did mention you had lots of entries and you had to round it down.
Yeah, so there were one or two other stories,
Yes.
and they just got cut because they weren't in a state close to completion by the time we finished the campaign, and we had to cut because I didn't want to delay release by another 2 months or whatever it would have been. It was unfortunate, but also I wanted to make sure everything got delivered in a timely manner.
So in other words, the book could have been longer. That is actually really cool. Okay, like you didn't mind how big it was going to be. You wanted to release something that shares everybody's work. That's actually admirable. I just thought you guys weren't going to let in certain people because you had a minimum quota. This is actually really kind of, well...
Yeah, so it was like the initial grab was like as many as we could take. Once we hit a certain point, I didn't want more stories just because like this is what's been decided. I'm not just going to arbitrarily add more.
Yeah.
Like once we had the initial pitches decided upon, those were the people who like were guaranteed spots if they produced work. Because I know there's one of the stories didn't look like it was going to happen, but then it ended up getting finished on time, so it was like off and then on, and then it ended up in the final product, and there was another project that was on and then didn't get finished, so...
Yeah. And I can't blame anybody for not being able to finish, like, they only had 3 months to work on it.
Yeah, and
I'm slow as hell on stuff, so...
Yeah, and it's... The person was dealing with some personal stuff as well, so I'm not upset about it. It was what it was. I made the decision I need to make sure Hallowed Harvest got finished on time, but I don't bear... Like, I wasn't trying to be an ass and saying, like, I'm sorry, but we need to finish this.
Nah, it's understandable. But yeah, like, in the future, I hope that if you guys ever do another Hollow Harvest, you can bring those stories back.
Well,
Oh.
speaking of, it's not confirmed yet, but it is in the works. It is currently in pitch phase, so I'm gathering pitches from the various Mythoverse creators, and I'm gonna be compiling some stuff, and then gotta make some plans, and then I'll pitch it to Dan for final okay. So hopefully, the child is screaming.
The child rejoices. She rejoices that there's going to be another issue. Look at her. She's so happy.
No. Well, I don't know if she's happy about it. I've already submitted a pitch.
We're not letting her read yours. Ever.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's great. It's totally child friendly, right, Nebel?
There's a kid in it.
Yeah,
Take
it's
it, Nebel!
child friendly.
Take it!
It's child friendly.
Take it!
But anyways, so that is something in the works. I'm not comfortable saying it will release this year. We'll see what happens, but Hallowed Harvest Volume 2 is definitely something we want to make.
Okay, that is awesome.
One of the lessons we've learned from the last time is start planning for this a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, you guys
And,
are kind of setting it up.
Production starts at the latest in May if we
that's
get
awesome.
okayed for this year, because last time the idea was birthed at the start of August. So
Yeah.
guaranteeing start of production in May, assuming it happens, would definitely mean there's more time for editing and making sure everything is even better than last time.
That is awesome. You guys are great. And I honestly am looking forward to that. And also looking forward to your own original comic, James. And of course, Nebel, you know I'm buying every single issue you make.
Oh,
I
God.
am biased as hell. Probably
Yes.
not. Well,
But it's for me, so it's okay.
yeah, it's totally. I'm allowed to be biased. Also, can you guys blame me? I mean, Nebel, I love your work, Nebel.
Well, thank
Ryan Wynn, good question. Where can you find out more about the Mythoverse?
You guys have
It's
a
not
website,
necessarily a
right?
place. Yeah, I'm not sure it's necessarily a good place to learn about it, but if you want to look into the comics, mythomerch.com. Yeah, mythomerch.com. You can look at what we have available. So there are currently 3 titles in the catalog. Let me see what we have.
Although Hallowed Harvest
Yes.
will be available soon for purchase.
Soon
on Spawn.
TM. We have
Soon
to do
Soon trademark.
a light rework because there's some editing things that need to be fixed because we rushed through and there were just a couple minor things that can be tweaked to subtly increase the reading enjoyment. But that will be hopefully within the next month or two.
You know,
We'll see
also,
what happens.
also I could send a link. I can also put up a link afterwards. I should have asked beforehand. I could put a link to the website and everywhere else and the shops, so then people can buy all the comics, because that's really important, because let's face it, everybody should buy all the comics, because they're very good, and I love them. But yeah.
Yeah, if you check out the Discord chat we're in, you'll see I posted a link
Yeah.
to the store.
Oh, also, would you like me to wait? No, we only give out you only give out the Discord to cool people.
I believe so. Yeah, it's like a semi-public. I'm not sure.
I know there's like
Brett's in the chat. He could speak to. I don't
Brett.
think it's just like anyone joins.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
Yay, they're following now. Ryan's gonna follow. Ryan's a really good artist too. I love Ryan's work.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, you guys are really cool. I don't think you guys get it that like how much talent and how much wonderful beauty you guys just bleed out in the Mythoverse.
Well, don't tell us too much. It might get to my head.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, because that's already bloated enough as is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's in my stream, and I'm just gonna plot him because he's never.
I mean, I've got a lot of hair, so you probably can't tell.
Yeah, what Brett said, you basically gotta know someone already in there to get in. So it's
Yeah, you need
not
to.
necessarily an exclusive club, but it's not super public.
Yeah, I mean, mostly you don't want. You need to make sure that people aren't coming in that are trolls. I know
Yeah,
specifically
there's
if you,
some light vetting.
I know there's light vetting, and along with if you back some of the projects, and I think if you are on their Patreon, they'll let you in. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, they have to monitor you before you're allowed in. But yeah, it's a whole entire Discord just meant for creatives and creators.
Well,
and
creatives creatives
And
and readers and fans. Yeah,
yeah, and I think that's amazing.
The
It
shit
is-
posting there is legendary, by the way.
it is.
So much
There's
goofiness.
quite a bit of it.
I remember when it was Warhammer Tuesdays and everyone just picked a faction and pretended they were that faction for a couple hours.
Oh,
That was always fun.
Oh man.
but there is a website, right?
Yeah, I posted it in the Discord chat.
Yeah,
if
that's
you-
right. Okay, I'll put up a link in the details of this stream later on when it goes straight to video or whatever. I mean, straight to a regular video. I'll make sure to put that in the link. So
The stream's going straight to VHS.
Yeah. Straight to VHS. Let's go.
bringing back Warhammer Tuesday.
Printing has become an issue for the VHS release of this video, but it'll get there eventually.
Don't die,
I
please.
won't. I just. It's okay. It's okay. Well, I don't want to keep you too long on here. I know you guys probably have your own stuff to do, but so I guess we'll wrap it up in a little bit. But is there anything you would like to tell us, leak to us, hint to us?
Who are
Nebel's
you
not
asking?
really an owl. Sorry to shatter your dreams, Nerd Wonder, but he's not really an owl.
What? No, I have footage
Well,
of him eating a rat. He told me that was him. He was in the Rockefeller tree.
You've been catfished.
No.
well, I think what James is trying to say is that I am not a true owl. I am not a Strix. I'm a Tyto Elba. Barn owls are not true owls.
Gasp. That's right, you're a barn owl. I forgot. Yeah, I am a. What do people call me? A cat coon?
Womp womp.
Oh man, speaking of raccoons, Nebel's deepest lore, Brittany from
That's from
Maze of Dolls.
Yeah.
She may or may not be part raccoon. Genetically
Oh my
modified. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, basically, don't be surprised if she's in your trash can at some point. Like, I found her there. It's awkward, but it happens.
Yeah.
I would like to also state one thing as well about that there is a panel in Maze of Dolls which literally has some of the best doodles I remember you making, which is a plushie of Leg Boy.
Oh, the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yes, the Fresno Nightcrawler. And
You want to know why I picked that? I picked the plushie of the Fresno Nightcrawler because, like, this character is supposed to be really into, like, weird stuff.
Yeah.
And I want it, and it's pretty heavily implied, so I guess I'll confirm it now, deep lore, that she's from California. And I wanted to pick out, like, a Californian cryptid that that hasn't gotten a lot of traction, or at least one I hadn't heard of.
Yeah.
And I looked around and I found the Fresno Nightcrawler, which is just a pair of legs and a head.
I love it. And you guys look him up on
Like
Twitter because there's a picture he drew of it dancing. And
Yeah.
it's the funniest thing ever. I love that you put it in.
Oh yeah, I guess that one panel,
I love it.
that might be worth talking about a little bit because there's a lot of
There's a president.
there's some deep there's some deep cuts in there.
Yeah. A lot of
So the picture, there's a picture, and you know what? Let me find the picture so I can talk more about it,
I'll upload it in here.
because it's I really like that panel. That panel is pretty fun. It's pretty funny,
Yeah.
or at least
it's a
to
good
me,
one.
it's funny.
Heck yeah.
But there's a story with one of the items in that panel is a picture of President Eisenhower hanging out with an alien gray.
Mhm.
And
The best things ever.
the backstory with that is I remember hearing this sort of legend about like which presidents have had contact with aliens, and two of them that came up were Truman and Eisenhower. Apparently, according to the legends, President Truman was approached by the tall white aliens, the Nordic aliens. I think they're called Pleiadians or something like that. They're from Pleiades, and they told him like, "Hey, we'll give you this advanced medical technology if you get rid of all your nukes." And according to the legend, Truman basically told the Nordic aliens to fuck off. And then they're like, alright. And then they're like, okay, but beware of the Greys. And then, coincidence of coincidences. Oh, by the way, I posted the picture in our Discord chat.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go and share it with everybody. Hang on, I gotta save it first. Okay.
Or it's like
Save image.
can you put it on the OBS or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
If that's the case, then you'll see another part of why it is theorized that Brittany is part raccoon.
Sweet. Okay,
Well, yeah,
here we go. Hang on, I'm gonna
So to complete the story, legend has it that the alien Greys later visited President Eisenhower, and the deal they supposedly cut with him is that they were willing to trade like weapons and propulsion technology with him if they'd be allowed to take some random people to use as test subjects, which becomes the basis of like the alien abductions and the experiments and the probing and whatnot stories that come after that. So that weird little legend is the basis for that picture of Eisenhower like hanging out with an alien gray.
I love it. I love the alien gray. I love Leg Boy. I totally believe.
Oh yeah, and I totally believe is not that deep a cut. I just used like the X-Files poster and put Sasquatch on it.
Always fancy. Always fancy. Hey! Nothing wrong there. But yeah, now
I'd like
everybody
to
in the
note
go see it.
black rings around Brittany's eyes, just very slightly raccoony.
I love it.
It is also lore, like canon, that she like digs in people's trash can.
Yeah.
Not to eat trash. It's to find all their personal
It's
information.
to find all their personal stuff. She's an investigator. She's a paranormal investigator.
Well, she thinks she is.
Yes.
Listen,
It's more just
we
a complete
have to
disrespect of boundaries.
Okay, we have an obligation to believe. We want to believe. I totally believe, just like she believes in Sasquatch. Okay, be appreciative. Okay,
I know I said
you don't
that.
deserve
I
the
know.
image. There, it's gone now.
Well then.
Shame on you.
I know I said this the last time I streamed, but I need to release more like little content of Brittany because she's got interesting perspectives on certain things.
I think that's really fun.
Especially weird conspiracy stuff.
Yeah,
Oh
really
yeah,
looking
like when
forward to
she
it.
just hid in Maeve's trash can.
Don't spoil too much. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, it was just a gag sketch
Oh, okay.
that Nebel did,
Yeah,
not lore.
There's
Or
a
maybe
couple
it is
like
canon. I don't know.
I mean, it's flex canon. It's canon until it isn't.
Okay.
And I did a couple short comics in that like vertical webtoons looking format
Yeah.
where I had Brittany appearing in the trash cans of other Mythoverse characters.
Nice. I hope
Wait,
she
hang on, I
becomes a
still have
random
those.
gag.
I have those somewhere.
I hope there's an Easter egg one day in other comics where we just see Brittany hiding in some trash cans and other stuff. That would be fantastic. But
Probably just
Oh
for
no!
likes.
I just went into the meme folder under Mythoverse comics.
kids are crazy.
Noodles.
I'm gonna say this. If you guys have not picked up Hollowed Harvest, definitely go to the website. Yeah?
Once it's out on the store, yeah.
Oh, it's not on the start. Okay.
Because we're still squaring away some details, but certain steps have been taken so far that encourage me that it's closer to done than it was before.
Okay, redacting my statement. If you have not picked up any of the work of the Mythoverse and you're now curious, you do check out their website right now and see what you like. Also, follow these wonderful artists and writers. We have Jane Stern, and we have Nebel here. And we had the whole entire Mythoverse team on another live stream, which was interrupted by my adorable niece. But yeah, they're all on Twitter, I believe. Do you guys want to shout out your Twitters so people can follow you and see your cool art or writing?
At jam_stern. And please ignore the shitposting in the Discord call.
No, I love shitposting in Discord calls. I don't think you understand the beauty of it. Okay? Noodles.
Yes, pooled noodles.
Pooled noodles everywhere.
That's going back a bit.
I don't look enough.
That's very deep lore.
Yeah,
Yep.
everybody, they're just sending us, he's just sending pool noodles. But, yeah, so I will definitely put that as a link as well, so people can go check you out. Nebel, where do people go to follow you?
There's a couple places you can find me. I do have a Twitter, but I'm not nearly as active on there as I used to be. I'm on Pixiv at nebelart. I am also on Newgrounds at nebelart. And if y'all have I am also nebelart on Minds, if you want to check that out.
That's where I put up all my art, but I should really put some on Newgrounds. But
yeah, the only thing that stops me from putting more of my art on Newgrounds is like they usually want like finished pieces.
Yeah.
And I have like a ton of sketches, but it's like, do you want this to appear on the art portal? I'm like, well, it's still a sketch, but a lot of the stuff I show people are sketches.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's I put the link to the Newgrounds and the Pixiv, and here's my moons.
Moon.
And I guess if you really want it, I'll put on my Twitter. If I can
It's
find
whatever you want, dude. Just post it in there and I'll edit it up when this gets uploaded onto the internet as just a regular video. But yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Is there any...
like I said,
Yeah?
I'm not nearly as active on Twitter. If you want to find me, you're more likely to find me on Minds or, like I said, Pixiv and Minds are the places I'm the most active.
Yeah, they're really good. So everybody, make a Pixiv and make a Mind so you can follow. Yep. Is there anything else?
If you're interested in commissioning me for stuff, you can reach me at nebelart@protonmail.com with the subject on my Minds there's a post with a commission guide sheet. Just pick one of those and make the subject whatever commission tier you want me to do.
There you can go. Nice. Good marketing, my friend. But is there anything else you guys would like to state before we sign out?
Good job, fellow Mythoverse creators, on helping make Hollowed Harvest a thing that people can enjoy.
Yay!
I
The
enjoyed it.
one last thing that I'd like to say to viewers and fans and followers is keep an eye out. There's more stuff coming.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm seriously am. I'm really stoked. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye,
All right.
everybody.